So it's been 2 years since we've had new music from Boy Radio.
Technically, yeah, it's true.
So tell us a little bit about how the new EP just came together.
I have been really kind of musing for the past, 2 years about music. I've been really missing the idea of writing and missing the idea of sharing music. And I kind of got used to not doing it. The last single that I put out was a cover of Selena Gomez's Boyfriend. And before that, I put out a EP album called Pop That. And that was in 2016. So 4 or 5 years it's been. And I kind of started to get used to it. I kind of started to get used to the idea that I wasn't gonna be like releasing anything more than the idea that I would. And because I produced a lot of Pop That, and I also had other producers, and I worked remotely, so I did most of it myself. I mixed and mastered everything at the end of it. So like I spent a lot of time with the music, I spent a lot of time with myself, and I found myself kind of in a position where like at the end of it, like I spent so much time with it that like I just was like, I can't do that again. I can't do like 6 months of editing and then try and market it myself and try and make up a visual kind of idea and the whole thing. And I didn't really make any videos for it, so it didn't get the visual love it needed. It just got some photos and it got posted, and a lot of people listened to it, but it didn't really get like the full package that I'd hoped for. But I don't know, in December I just was coming home on the train, and I got the notion to look up some sounds online. There's a lot of websites now where there's producers who will upload songs that you can actually license. Like you don't have to pay for them if you put them on a mixtape, or you don't have to exclusively buy them if you decide you want to download them and pay the $25, but then you'll have like 10, potentially 20, 30, 40, 50 other artists who will have the same song, just different versions of it. I don't know if you knew about that. So I went home one night after kind of a night out, and I was like, I wonder what the sounds are doing online now, because this is a website I've tried to use before. One of my really good friends, his name is Marcus, he and I used to write together a lot, and I would always go on this website and I would play these tracks for him, and we would try and write to them, and things would like feel good, but they would never really stick. And so I kind of wasn't expecting anything to come up, but I think because the popular sounds right now are kind of like reminiscent of sounds that were popular in the 90s, it's a cyclical thing. The 90s sound is never gonna go away. It's not like just because it's popular now, it's not gonna be popular next year. It's a sound that's like consistent within like the dance community and the electronic dance community. And so I got home that night and I looked up some sounds, and I started finding things that I really loved. And I saved them all, and I went to the gym the next day, and I sat with these sounds and I just started writing. Like it all just came out of me. And in one day I wrote probably 10 to 12 songs, I think it was. And I was like, all right, cool. Like it's still there. Like I thought it was gone forever. I thought like I'd never write again. And it all kind of came to me. And as I started to realize like, oh, I actually have something here that like kind of feels next level, kind of feels important, kind of feels like could be like a really good way of like reintroducing myself with a different sound and with a sound that's familiar. I kind of decided like, okay, let's do it. And I actually got a GoFundMe up, and the GoFundMe, I hit my goal. And that's like really what influenced me, because I was able to not just like, buy the songs to like put on a mixtape. I was able to license the songs. Like these are my songs now. So that's thanks to the fans. So thank you very much. And yeah, so it came about like pretty quickly, and instead of sitting on it and waiting for other people to work with, I was just like, let's just keep going. And I ended up meeting producer Alec Gaston, who is a musician, very talented musician and instrumentalist and artist, and in the queer community. And everything felt different. Like everything felt more authentic and more true to my creativity. versus times where it felt like I was trying to work with people who were just doing it to, just to make their rate or whatever. I'm working with someone who's like, who gets it, who's also in the queer community. We're not talking about sports and cars. We're talking about music and, and advocacy and like, yeah. So, yeah.
And what about Leather and Denim specifically? So that's the lead single from the EP. Tell us about how that particular song came together. It takes us on such a journey. It's just over 2.5 minutes, but I feel like, as I say, we go on such a great journey with that.
It's a short song, which I'm learning is good. And the EP, I haven't released the title of the EP yet, but I will eventually. It's a really cheeky song without being too like too cheeky, if that makes sense. I mean, it's pop music and it's electro dance music, so it's meant to feel guttural and soulful, and also come from a place of like, you just want to dance to it. I'm a dancer. Like, I'm super tall. I always talk about that. I always say like I'm taller than everyone, but like legit, like I'm 6'5". And so when people see me, they don't think I can dance. And then when I can, I'm able to, with the shows I've been doing with like Alaska and Divatronic, like, we're doing full-on choreography. So like people have come to the shows and they're like, whoa, like you can move. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I've been dancing since I was 5, you know what I mean? Like, so I wanted to make the lead single a dance single. And Leather and Denim is, it's really about just feeling yourself. It's like actually a song where literally I say like in the beginning, like I'm Janet Jackson with that. Like you are embodying the energy that Boy Radio is when I'm feeling my best self. And the chorus is just I've been trying to win your heart, and I've been in leather and denim from the start. And that kind of is a throwback to the fact that like I've kind of been like in this world for a long time, like this creative world, this sound, this like being an out artist, being a indie pop artist, like a non-commercial, non-mainstream pop artist, from my style to my hair to the clothes I was wearing when I was performing at Lower East Side clubs to even now where people like know me more. I've been doing this for a while, and so it's a sound and a song that I'm excited about because I feel like people will hear it, and hopefully that like little button in your heart like really does open up, and it becomes a song that like you want to dance to and embody. And like I want more drag kings to do my songs. Like I need more. We always talk about drag, and like drag is such an ethereal, fun, magical performance thing to do, and I never see enough drag kings. So like drag kings, if you need music, like just search Boy Radio and like just start doing some Boy Radio songs live and just see how you feel. Like see if that works for you.
And I love what you encapsulate in just a few phrases when you say like on Leather and Denim, like I've been alright and I've been in my head a little, and then I've been feeling myself and finding my light. You capture so much in just a few lyrics there. And I know last time we spoke about pop, that you talked a little bit about writing from the perspective of Boy Radio, which allowed you to sort of, I don't know, maybe be a little less autobiographical.
Yeah,
and
sure.
What was the balance of the writing on here in terms of like, the Boy Radio persona versus like, autobiography? I
definitely will always embody that because it's just a part of me, but I've been able to separate a little bit. I mean, they always say the id, the ego, the superego. I don't know which is which anymore. And I know that like my personal life does affect my creative life. But now more than ever, I think post 2020, the experience that we all lived through, my creative experience, my creative voice, this pseudonym, this persona that I've created that is 100% from my life, comes from, the fact that like I have been in my head. I've been in my head for almost 5 years since my last release. And I've especially been in my head since 2020. I've been trying to figure out how to be my best and most authentic self. That is not fake. That's not a put on. That's not me putting on, a guise. That's me saying what I feel. And I've been feeling myself lately. Yeah, I've been doing this work that like has been actually bringing out my confidence and is actually bringing out my like personality, and I dare I say it, my, you know, queerness in a way that like allows me to, such a dangerous word in mainstream culture, but like it's been allowing me to be my best self. And regardless of how that's perceived by any sort of mainstream you know, audience, like I'm still me. I'm me. I'm you know, I'm me in a straight setting, I'm me in a queer setting, LGBTQ plus setting. I am authentic as more authentic sometimes than I think I am. But like I legitimately have been like really excited about this new music.
What do the words leather and denim kind of evoke for you?
Confidence, sexuality, grittiness. You know, we've got Tom of Finland in the background, like very much like, you know, again, dare I say it, another like taboo word, masculinity. You know, I've gone sort of out of my way to work towards building a relationship with an audience that is rooted in non-toxic masculinity. I don't always get it right. I won't always get it right, like, because, you know, sadly I am a man. I don't want to tell you. Like, it is what it is. But like, you know, leather and denim is leather. We think of like, you know, I'm not vegan, so I'm sorry for anyone who's vegan and like leather like offends you. We can call it something like pleather and denim if you want. Or maybe release a second single. But yeah, like the leather is like the sexy. It's the audacity to wear leather. It's the Elvis, the James Dean, the rocker, the punk rocker, the outcast. You know, like the outsider. The denim is something that is timeless and will always be there. Like there's, you know, the reason why people shop at vintage shops is because there's legitimately leather jackets from 60, 70 years ago that you don't have to pay $3,000 for. You can get a classic Harley Davidson jacket and a pair of jeans that have been around since 1940. And you're still repurposing something that is a classic thing. So like, I literally am talking about two very classic things, which is pop culture. That's pop art. Yeah.
And how much of a flavor does it give us of what we can expect from the EP, the full EP? This is the sound. I mean, it's gonna be like Caribbean sounds, a little bit of like really lots of like da, 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 like lots of that, lots of like really, really good down tempo, not down tempo, but like really good down gritty, like drum sounds. Like I said, I worked with Alec Gaston on bringing it all together. They play guitar on the next single that's gonna come out after this one. And these two songs, these first two single songs are from a producer called Coco Tekel, who I believe lives in Tel Aviv. So we've never met this person, never seen them, don't even know what they sound like only know their music. And again, like, thank you to any person who donated to this GoFundMe to make this project happen, because like, honestly, truly, like, I couldn't have done it without you. And like, to say that with such an authentic like heart, like, I could not have done this without people. So thank you. And Don't Stop, Run It is going to be the second single.
Yes, it is.
The vocals are just gorgeous on that.
Yay!
It's a really sexy song, I think. Tell us about putting that.
I'm really excited for the second single. I'm really excited to surprise everyone with the second single, because I think that what the first single gives is very like, you know, when I don't even want to say his name, but when Justin Timberlake came out with Sexy Back, and it wasn't necessarily unsingable. There was parts you could sing, of course, but like the grit of it was just talking, like spokals, like talking vocals. And I just came up with that. I've been trying to win your heart, like, and I wanted it to feel like dumb, but also like gritty and real, and I wanted it to be something that anyone could sing and like really just throw their hands up and like caution to the wind. But Don't Stop, Run It is the second single, and it's all vocal, it's all singing, all dancing, like love, beauty, soul, R&B, pop, electro dance. And the harmonies that we created, me and Alec, are out of this world for me. Like when I heard it all together, when I sat there and I was stacking everything, when they started playing the guitar in the chorus, when we got to the bridge section where I like reference like Mother Grace Jones, like all of that stuff is like has been sitting in my heart and in my head for years, and I've just been waiting for the right sounds to come, and it's like it finally came, and like I feel like it came at one of the best times. You know, there's something to be said about being patient, and it feels like it took forever, but I'm happy to like be sending out these sounds, and like, you know, again, I'm doing it independently with the help of my fans and with the help of people who trust and believe, but I'm really happy and excited for what's happening. It's really cool.
So when we spoke about Pop That in 2019, you'd been listening to Zayn Malik and Kim Petras, who just got the Grammy, which is cool.
Yeah.
So you were kind of ahead of the curve in mentioning her in a lot of ways. I think a lot of people are only just starting to find out.
Well, Kim is Bushwick. Like, Kim is a Bushwick artist, and like she came out here, and you know, DJ Pat and the Rosemont and all the bars that were like hosting her and getting her music out to like us. You know, she's a mainstream artist. She's able to reach a different audience based on that. But you know, the sounds I was listening to back then, Zayn, for example, like Zayn is sensitive. Zayn is sensitive like I'm sensitive. Like I was telling you earlier, I sometimes mistake my sensitivity, and my sensitivity sometimes is mistaken as passion, or the reverse. My passion sometimes is mistaken as sensitivity, and I have hurt some people, and I didn't, you know, intend on that. But to be able to do that with music, and to be able to use those influences to continue to build and create my own sound and work on myself, like literally publicly, while still being kind of a normal, well, vaguely normal person. It's real, and it feels good.
And yeah, you mentioned there's a reference to Janet Jackson, which is great, and to Grace Jones. But what kind of music are you listening to at the moment that's exciting you? Any new artists, or you throwbacks to others?
Right now, I'm just kind of like open ears. I'm definitely not listening to anyone in particular. I mean, I'm listening to everything. I wake up in the morning, I listen to literally, I just put shuffle on. Yeah, I don't have anyone I'm listening to right now, and it's because I have this is weird, but like it's a cool way of like introducing myself again. I have synesthesia, which is for some people like they see colors, and other people they like see sounds in a way. I have it in a way where like I can hear music all the time, and it got to a point where like, I mean, like it can be raining and I'll be like, oh, it's raining in C# or something like that, and it got to a point where the madness that I was feeling of from hearing sounds constantly and not being able to transcribe them, or not being able to sit with myself on the computer and put these ideas down and be like, oh, that was a good sound. I started to feel pressured by my creative. Like, here's a song. Like, I'd wake up in the middle of the night from a dream, right? And in the middle of the night, I'm hearing full songs, full lyrics, full production. And I wake up and I go to my phone and I'm like, like trying to sing it and like not remembering it. And so I have all these like sleepy like recordings or whatever. And one day I was driving my bike over the bridge, and I just realized that like when it comes to music, sometimes you just have to let it pass. Like, we walk into a diner or a store and they'll be playing something on the radio, and we Shazam it maybe, but maybe we don't. Maybe we don't Shazam it. Maybe we're just like, oh, that's a cool song. That's a great song. It's gone. And so I started to realize that like, oh, I can do that with myself too. I can let these sounds kind of come into my brain, and I can like sit with them and be like, oh, that was nice, and then let it go. And the ones that are there inherently will come back. And these are all songs that like have been sitting with me for these past few years that I didn't realize that I'd held on to. And when I started to hear these songs, they started to come back to me. Like, here's a lyric that you probably haven't thought about in 3 years. It goes like this, and it fits on this, like this, with this melody. And I was just like, brrr. So, yeah.
And just finally, you've got to talk about the visuals, because the cover art for the first two singles is just gorgeous. Why did you sort of lean into the AI, which is there's some amazing things happening?
I am a science fiction nerd. So like the idea of being able to just describe what's in your head and have the result come out in whatever way that it comes to you is beyond insane to me. And so like Retro Futurist Daddies, that's their account on Instagram. I started following them a while ago, and they've been making these kind of like, Retro Futurist Daddies, like kind of like Honcho, Tom of Finland inspired AI designs where they're prompting the AI. But the way that they were coming out were so like perfect in a way to me, like in a way that was like, I'm seeing them in different waves. I've seeing different people making different AI generations, and they look great. But like this person, he specifically was making kind of like queer-oriented, gay-oriented, daddy, like finally of all different cultures without being asked to. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Asian, Black, American, white. Like everyone that's Indian, like everyone is just there and represented, but then also like a tinge of weirdness, which is me, like I'm a nerd. So like the Leather and Denim cover is like, it's basically my face, AI generated into the prompt of this, handsome dude with the leather jacket open and the denim jeans. And then there's like this Muppet, this like little, like, alien looking furry weirdo Muppet, and he's just looking up like, just like, let's put the song out. And that's the vibe. So we got two really great single covers for this one and the next one, and then after that you'll hear, like, once I put things together, how it all fits.
Well, Boy Radio, thanks so much, and loving the first two singles. Can't wait to hear more.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you again, everybody, for the support. I really do appreciate it, and just thank you.